So with Zeno, the king of all 12 universes, wanted to host a Omni tournament involving all 12 universes. Today, myself and Geekless TV, Mr. MJ, are going to be talking about the possibility of there being another arc set to debut before the grand finale. I believe being the grand finale, that being the Omniverse tournament. Now, Mr. MJ, today I want to get your overall thoughts on the presentation, the grand scheme of things, because I personally believe if Dragon Ball Super is going to end, we're going to have this grand finale, that being this multiversal tournament involving all 12 universes. And as you pointed out, there have been several things that we saw in the previous tournament that are hopefully going to be adapted into the coming arcs. Now, I wanted to know from you personally as a fan, do you believe that there is going to be somewhat of another arc before this grand tournament? Because if there is going to be a multiversal tournament involving 12 universes, one would have to presume that this is going to be somewhat of an elimination style, kind of traditional, unlike the gauntlet style that we saw in the previous tournament. So I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I believe that there is going to be at least one more arc before the grand finale. So from you personally, like just looking back on this episode, looking back on everything that's transpired thus far, do you believe that there's going to be at least one or two more arcs before the grand finale? And keep in mind, guys, by the way, this video will contain lots of spoilers, so if you don't want anything ruined for you, tune out now. So Mr. MJ, you have the floor, my good sir.
Yes, I do believe we are gonna see another arc. I don't know about two. I don't know, two arcs, three arcs, but at least one arc, because when you look back at the tournament, it was made clear that Hit was holding back. Even Goku had straight out said, "You're holding back."
Tremendously.
He said that. He said, "You're holding back." For people who don't believe me, go back and watch that. Goku would have lost the
He
fight if
was, he
that fight
was.
continued. So then on top of that, you had Hit completely shaking. Well, I won't say shaking, but he was already like, man, okay, I'm just gonna accept my death. Like that was it when he was facing Champa. There is still a world difference between Champa, Beerus, and hitting Goku. It's like there's a world difference there, and people who may not want to admit it, it's there. Just go watch it. Champa straight up said, I don't care if there's Super Saiyajins or there's
Yeah,
time
Toki
skipping.
Tobashi, he doesn't
Yeah,
care.
it's
Yeah, he
I'm just gonna
accepted
kill
it.
all of you. I'm a god. I'm gonna destroy every single one of you.
But then
So
again, do you think that he was just saying that out of like pride and spite, the fact that he was just embarrassed?
I don't know, man.
Because
All of
then
them were
again, he might
shitting
have been
bricks.
talking a lot of trash, bro. He could have been talking trash.
I don't know, but Batama was shitting bricks too, bro. He was like, oh
Oh,
shit.
Tom
So,
out of all people.
well, he has that ability, bro. That one. But anyways, and then not only that, but we said in this episode. So again, spoilers. If you have not seen the latest episode, please tune out. Spoilers everywhere in this video. But in the latest episode, we straight up had told. No, I didn't believe it was either Beerus or Whis straight up said that Goku's not strong enough yet for the Omniverse tournament. So right then and there, there's like a little key
Not
thing.
even
What if
close, man.
Beerus? What if Beerus and Whis know some of those fighters in the other universes? Maybe Whis heard about the legendary Hitman. So maybe he knows of some other people. It's
Not
like,
only that, but Whis did tell Beerus that if Goku were to lose, the outcome of the world, the Earth, is unknown. Like nobody knows what's gonna happen to the Earth
yeah,
itself because I mean, this tournament it's gonna hold. I believe at least is gonna hold a grand purpose. Now, we understand that the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 beef was over planet Earth, and they wanted to
yeah,
switch on Earths, but we don't really know what the purpose of this tournament's gonna be. For me, I believe that it can't just be for shits and giggles. Despite how strong this Omni King is, maybe he's doing it just for self-gratification. Maybe he's not. But I personally believe, especially going off what you just said, since Beerus and Whis believe that Goku is not strong enough, in which case he's not because they're still using Monaka to motivate him, as we saw in
yeah.
episode 42. Given those credentials and given those like circumstances that are unfolding currently, I believe that this is going to transpire into sort of like a mini arc in a way, to where it allows Goku and Vegeta or friends to progressively grow stronger as they continue, because there's no way that you're just gonna leave this tournament, come back to Earth, and have another one start back up without Goku gradually getting stronger. So I wanted to ask
Yeah.
you, do you believe that this next arc is going to be somewhat of a filler arc just to buy some time until we get into like the big grand finale of things, or do you believe that this next arc is going to hold somewhat of a significant importance to what's going to happen? Because for me personally, I don't think that the next arc is going to be as big as the Golden Frieza arc was, or maybe the Universal Tournament, but perhaps maybe this one's going to have somewhat of an influence to where it allows Goku and Vegeta to grow progressively stronger by battling someone who's either on par with them or slightly stronger. So, like, what are your thoughts on this? Because we could be going to Universe 6, we could be doing other things. What do you
Yeah.
think is going to happen in the next arc?
Well, if there is a next arc, then it has to be something influential because just having like a 3 episode thing of filler and then we find out that Goku and Vegeta have been training for like 4 years
Yeah.
and
Oh my
that's
God.
kind of boring. So I would rather them like experience, go through adventure, maybe have like a 15 episode arc, a 16 episode arc where they actually need to get stronger for some reason, whether it be learning a new technique, whether it be drinking some hidden water, some
I
whatever,
agree. But they kind of did that
It's
with all these arcs. All these arcs were like between 10 to 13 episodes if you really want to count it
yeah,
into it. So, but do you believe that because the manga's already behind. The manga's like drastically behind. And
yeah,
most people prefer the manga because there's more details in there, which I agree with. There's a lot of awesome details in there that aren't displayed in the anime. But whatever this arc may be, do you believe it's gonna have to do something like that involves Kaba? Because I believe that Kaba he is going to play a significant role, especially with Vegeta. So I believe that at some given point they just might go out there just to meet the king and just to explore the surrounding of things, and they might come across a tyrannical ruler from Universe 6 that gives everyone a hard time. So they might go on ahead and just have to fend him off, to keep the planet safe. So because I believe that the entirety of the of Universe 6, right, and the structural base that we have with Planet Sadal, with Kaba explaining to Vegeta that our king is similar to you and stuff. I believe that it might be to where Goku and Vegeta travel to that planet. But like, what do you think here? Do you think that's possible, or do you think that that's just way far fetched out there?
it's possible. I mean, it's not like it's possible. Anything's possible in Dragon Ball. So, yeah, that's a possibility because Kaba was pretty much, even though he was sort of wasted in the tournament because he kind of got one-shotted pretty easily,
Yeah,
he was overall an important character out of the Universe 6 fighters. I mean, obviously Hit and then Kaba if you want to rank it in that situation, but um he was the most important. He was the one who had a lot of screen time, a whole episode dedicated to himself. He actually talked. He was back and forth with Vegeta, and then now he calls Vegeta Master now. So that's, you know, so I see him. Yeah, they could go into Universe 6. The thing is, though, it's like, how would they get there? Because it's like, even though Whis and Beerus seem to be friends with Goku and Vegeta, I don't think they would let him use the cube. That's like their thing. So I don't know how they would get there, and I don't know how Kaba would get over here. But obviously, they can work on that. That's a whole arc, in my opinion. If they were to go visit your planet Salus at all, whatever you want to call it, and see the king. I mean, anything could happen. I agree with that. That's pretty cool. Like a tyrant coming over or trying to take over a planet or
yeah.
something.
Because remember, like I think it's already stated that Universe 6 has a lot of wars. So maybe they go
Yeah,
out there. They're kind of doing their own thing. They're minding their own business. And instead of Goku and Vegeta going to the war, so to speak, comes to them. And with that being onto the planet and stuff. So the Saiyans there, they could be, exponentially weaker than Goku and Vegeta. So it's up to them to help the Saiyans from Universe 6 fend off whatever's there. I mean, again, guys, it's just theory and speculation.
yeah,
I mean, they can go in a whole different direction. They can do something completely different, which I believe wouldn't make sense because if you're going to talk about Kaba and you're gonna call Vegeta Master and you're gonna talk about like this planet and stuff, why aren't you going to introduce that? But again, that goes back to what you just said. How will they get there? Well, we've seen lots of things unfold in the manga that never really happened in the anime. For example, when Goku and Vegeta fought as gods in the chamber, we never saw that, and that was so important
yeah,
because like that was something that we've been wanting to see since Majin Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 2 Goku, right? But we didn't really get to
yeah,
see that because it was in a way it was just taken out for whatever reason. So in terms of them getting there, they might come up with a way to where Bulma builds something, or maybe perhaps Whis grants them the gift of giving them something to travel from universe to universe, perhaps maybe.
yeah,
But if that's not the outcome, right? If we don't go to planet Sadal over in Universe 6, if we don't get to meet the king, if we don't get to interact with these Saiyans, do you think it's possible that we might have a sub story to where it involves Gohan, perhaps? And I know certain people might just say, oh well, Gohan's no longer going to be involved. He already had his time and stuff. Maybe perhaps we're going to get some character development from him. So like again, it doesn't have to be a major arc to where it's just like ground shaking in and of itself, but it could be something to where it builds Gohan, it builds other characters. So do you think that that's a possibility to where we can see more of Gohan in action? Because even going into next week's episode, we still don't know what happened to Gohan. So what are your thoughts on that?
I was talking to our friend Gabby about this Mozilla Volpix. She does great super reviews, so if you go check her out, subscribe to her. And I was talking to her about this the other day. I was talking to her the other day, and I was talking about this arc. Like, what if they do an arc that is not just about Goku and Vegeta? Like, if they want to do the whole Goku and Vegeta training in the time chamber or the room of spirit and time, okay, do that. But let's at least build up the side characters. Now, what about this?
Yes.
This is just me going off the top of my head. Well, all Goku and Vegeta are doing their training. What if Goten and Trunks want to go buy like a new video game? Bulma gives them the cash. They go walk into the mall. They end up getting stuck or sucked into this actual virtual reality game. And it's just Goten and Trunks who have no powers now, trying to survive in this sort of like a sword art online type of thing. Like, just give us something that where we can kind of like see other characters do their own thing.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool because obviously to me that was the only thing I could come up with because there's no other villains out there in my opinion. I mean, obviously Frieza was the tyrant of the universe, Beerus is the god, Boo was the demon. It's like
Cell was the android. Yeah,
it's,
I,
it's
I get
like
what you're saying.
there's like really what can you do with
But the
because
universe is so big, we don't really know what's on the other side. Even realistically speaking here, like in real life, like the universe is so big, like we don't know what's on the other side. So perhaps maybe there is an entity out there that's been dormant for however many ages you want to count.
yeah,
But I think that you might be right because if Universe Seven's structural basis is finished in terms of villains, what more do you get out of going within your own universe? Because if you really count and if you really look at what's going on within your own universe, we had Cell, we had Frieza, we had Boo, we had Beerus, and there could be another foe that comes along, but the likelihood of them being stronger than someone like Beerus or someone else is just highly unlikely because aside from Beerus, the strongest one was who? Kid Buu, right? I would say like just coming below him because we had the Frieza arc, we had Cell, we had Kid Buu, and then we had Beerus. So for there to be an enemy to challenge them to use their god powers that exists within the same universe, I believe is highly unlikely. So I think that they have to travel outside to find that
yeah,
challenge. But again, I agree. Just having a subplot to where it involves Goten and Trunks.
or
What did you
Gohan.
think of Goku and Vegeta's like gi, like their classic gi? Because I don't hate it. It's not like I hate it, but I just feel as if new is good, and they had a very unique look. They had like a really cool look, and for them to go back to that, what are your thoughts? Because not only did they revert to their classic gi and whatever, but we don't really see them training with Whis. So does that mean that they completed their training, perhaps, or like what's going on with that? Like, what do you think?
See, I kind of asked that question. Who was? I can't remember who I asked it to, but I was like, "So are Goku and Vegeta like officially students of Whis
Yeah,
now? Like,
right.
is that their?" And I assumed they were because Whis was like, "That's my Goku and that's my Vegeta," during the tournament. So I figured they were, but I don't know. I mean, as far as Goku, yeah, I kind of wish he kept his gi, but I'm a bias toward Vegeta's, so I like his
Ah,
gi.
okay,
The whole
okay.
the Cell Saga gi, I'm cool with it. He can bring that back whenever the fuck he wants. I'm cool with that. But Goku's, yeah, I like his actual Resurrection F gi better, his tournament clothing, whatever you want to call it. It was actually pretty cool. But
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I mean, uh, as obvious your training isn't done because with straight out said Goku isn't strong enough to compete in the Omniverse
Exactly. So
tournament
like
yet.
like what's crazy here is why doesn't he just give them the training that they need? Because if you want your fighters to succeed, if you want your students to ultimately succeed in this grand finale of what seems to be this multiversal tournament that's possibly going to end the series, because I mean, if you think about this, where else could you go after this multiversal tournament? Because it's such a diverse thing to have all 12 universes compete. Where do you go after that? So if Whis wants his students to come out on top, don't you think it's logical for him to train his own students, or perhaps maybe even have Beerus train him? Because even though Beerus is the god of destruction, and we as fans technically saw Beerus versus Goku in this episode, doesn't necessarily mean anything. But why can't we just either finish their training or allow Beerus to spar with them? Like, especially if you want them to gradually improve, why aren't you going to take them under your wing again and just finish the training? Because we never really saw them finish that portion of them training. So like do you think that they're gonna go back and train with Whis, or do you think that they're gonna just strictly stay with where they're at now?
I don't know. Whis could be pulling the whole Roshi thing that Roshi did back in Dragon Ball. Now, don't quote me on this because I can't remember that far back into the manga, so I'll just go by the anime. I believe he says something along the lines to Goku that, I've taught you what you needed to know or the basics or something, so go train on your own. So when Goku went to go train on his own, he figured out his weaknesses like his tail and all of that.
Absolutely.
So
Not only that, but when he told Goku that there's always going to be people stronger than you after the
yeah.
tournament, yeah.
So Wiz could basically just be like, "Hey, I taught you how to keep your key in your body. I taught you God key basically. So just go do your own thing. See how strong you get." But it's like, but then why is he worried though? Oh man, they're not strong enough to compete in the tournament yet, or he needs to get stronger to compete. It's like, why wouldn't he just end it all by taking them up to his planet for a year, and train them?
Right.
It's, I don't know, man. Like I said, this is almost like a filler. We're talking really about a filler episode. Like I was saying back in that Android stock. You remember when Goku was like struggling to pick up that bus to save those kids?
Yes.
He basically just fought the strongest person in the universe at the time, and yet he was struggling to hold up a bus. So it's like some filler stuff, it doesn't always make sense. It's, but I don't know. Maybe we get some more
Also
news
keep in
later.
mind that the Kaioken times 10 transformation that he used at the tournament kind of messed him up too, because his
Yeah, that's
key
true.
his key is no longer the same because of all of the fuck ups that he had.
That's
But I
true.
mean,
That's
what
true.
about, because we did see the interview with Akira Toriyama. He spoke about the possible white haired villain. What do you think that is? Do you think it's someone that we already know, or do you think it's a completely new character? Because obviously there is something brewing here that I believe is going to transpire before this giant multiversal tournament. So do you think that Akira's vision of having this white-haired villain is going to come about now, or do you think it might be possibly after this tournament? Because again, guys, for me personally, I believe that this tournament's it. After this tournament, I think Dragon Ball Super is finished, because where else do you go with this? Like
Yeah.
this is something that's going to push the limit of not only Goku and Vegeta and whoever else competes, but everyone else within all the other universes itself. So, what about like this white-haired, character? Like, do you think they're gonna debut now, or do you think they're gonna debut possibly after?
I actually saw a cool theory on Reddit, and again, I'm not too sure if those episodes confirmed to be correct. The titles about the whole copy Vegeta and then Goku's key being out of order and all that. Was that like, I'm not too sure if that was confirmed, but someone posted a comment upon that discussion, and they were like, "I can see the next arc before the tournament being Vegeta, a clone Vegeta is created, a copy of Vegeta, and his hair ends up being white whenever he goes SSB or SSJ because of the malfunction. He's not a full Vegeta. He happens to be the little bit of hate and jealousy that whatever Vegeta has in him is that, and Vegeta is now completely good. With Goku's ki out of order, he can't really do too much help, so it's up to Vegeta to save the world basically from this copy of Vegeta, and also the maybe he also put in like Goten and Trunks fusion and the newly trained Gohan. I thought that would kind of be like a cool way to do it, to give them some time to shine and kind of keep Goku out of the picture,
Newly trained
but
Gohan. That's funny because Gohan wasn't even shown being next to his daughter, like next to it's yo, bro. Like I'm telling you, like I love Gohan. I mean, I'm not like obsessed with him, but I think he's a very crucial part of Dragon Ball.
oh
But
yeah.
that guy, man, they aren't really they aren't doing anything with him. Like if there was ever a time for him to compete in another tournament, I think this would be it, because like keep in mind he wanted to compete in the first one, right? But Goku said, no, you're not strong enough and stuff. So he ended up backing down because of this whole, conference thing he had. But do you see him coming back in this tournament, like redeeming himself, or do you think he's just going to be sidelined yet again?
Oh, he did seem happy to compete. He thought he could use it as training, so obviously
Yeah.
he does want to continue fighting. So who knows? Maybe they're gonna say they want a seven-man tournament this time, so they're gonna pick Gohan, or maybe Monaka just doesn't compete this time and Gohan replaces him.
Oh, there's
I,
no way. There's no way you're putting Monaka in there again. Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying, man. I mean, that would be kind of funny though. But anyways, what would be kind of cool? I know I'm going off topic here, but imagine the Omniverse tournament. Imagine like them doing a zoom out shot, and like they're gonna do like the old Budokai. I'm sure they will. I'm not sure if they would, but if they do, imagine them doing an old zoom out shot, and they show like an army of fighters from all over the 12
Oh,
universes
that'd be amazing. That
for
that
the
would be
preliminaries.
amazing.
And then it just goes through like two whole episodes of just seeing like Goku like run through this many people, Vegeta run through this many people, so and so. And finally, we come down to like the final like 20 or something like that. I thought that would be kind of cool.
I can definitely
But
see them like having qualifying matches before, like,
yeah,
because all 12, that seems a bit too much, and that all depends on how many
a
fighters
lot
the
of
Omni team
fighters.
wants. You know, like what if the Omni King wants one fighter per universe? You see, like that's gonna throw
Yeah,
a lot of people
that's
off because then Goku and Vegeta are gonna fight for that spot. You know, they're gonna be like, oh wait, no, I want that spot. Like what the hell? So
should
it
be
could be a
cool.
1-man thing, it could be a 3-man, 5-man thing. I could see qualifying matches happening. But for me personally, I just think that whatever comes out of this is going to involve possibly having Hit fight Goku once again in a rematch.
Bro,
Depending
Hit's
on
getting jobbed. Hit's getting jobbed in the next tournament to the next badass, bro. He's gonna walk in and get one shotted.
oh
I'm
no, I don't
telling
think so. I mean, if killing is adapted and if killing is allowed, then I think Hit is going to be a massive problem. Then again, we can't really say too much because there are other characters that we don't know about that could possibly be head and shoulders just way above Hit. Because I mean, how many of us actually expected Hit to be that good? I mean, we all knew that he was going to be a problem, but not that much of a problem to the point where he was able to blow out a Kaioken Super Saiyan God. So
Yeah,
um,
that's true. That's
so do
true.
you think this next tournament is going to involve a stake even higher than just one planet, or do you think that it's just going to be something that the Omni King wants for his amusement?
Man, sheesh.
Because
I
remember,
don't
he
know.
was there when he showed up. He was like, you know, I dig what you guys did. I enjoyed it, and we might have another one. But why? Why is the question? Like, why are you gonna have another one? I mean, could it be perhaps maybe just it could be for entertainment purposes because depending on how strong this character is, and I'm pretty sure he is on top of the pedestal of being the strongest. You know, I think that he might do this just for amusement purposes. But
Yeah.
again, we don't know what may come out of this. So, do you think that this is going to be the final arc per se? Is this tournament, or do you think there is at least going to be at least one more?
Well, I do believe the Omniverse will close the series. And as far as another arc coming before it, I can see at least one arc coming before it. If they don't do that, I already know a lot of people are going to be pissed off. But um, because people are kind of getting tired of the whole tournament after tournament.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I can see one arc happening and then the Omniverse tournament closing it. Unless, I mean, at the end of the Omniverse tournament, Timebreaker Super Saiyan 5 Bardock pops out and
Oh
wants
my
to
God. You
declare
know,
war.
everybody's been talking about that. Everybody was like, dude, Mira and Toa, Demigra and Broly are gonna arrive and just Bardock left and right. Like it's such a far-fetched thing because those are video game characters, with the exception of
Yeah.
Bardock, of course. But Mira and Toa, guys, they're not. I just can't say it enough. They're not going to be in this series at all. They're video game characters. And I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, who knows? Maybe Zeno might be Broly in disguise. Who knows? But and any final thoughts before we go?
No, man, that's been it. I don't know what else to say.
Guys, check out Geekless TV down in the description, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe for more content, everybody. Leave your thoughts down below as to what you guys feel is going to happen with this next tournament and this next possible arc because we don't know what's going to happen. But the way things are shaping out and the way things are brewing, I believe that there's going to be at least one more arc before this tournament. But comment down below and let us know, guys. Once again, thank you guys for watching once again, and we'll be seeing you all in the next update. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.